Hi, and welcome to Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. Remember to like and subscribe us down that away, down below somewhere, and follow us online on our website at shopyarnia.com, on Facebook as Yarnia LLC, Ravelry as Shop Yarnia, I can't talk today, and Instagram, as Yarnia LLC.
I don't think we did before.
Haley.
And I'm Kathleen.
Sure.
My name's Amanda.
Yeah.
Episode
29. And quarantine episode 5. Yes, it is. So.
I am coming to you today from my living room in my house. Some of you were probably at our knit and crochet night on Wednesday nights from 7 to 9 p.m. via Zoom and may have seen that I have been moving around my house in various different locations. So today I decided to come to you from the place with the best light, which is this room. Right behind you is a big picture window, and I have a fantastic view because you can see the little baby fawn that is hanging out underneath our apple tree. And I'm going to turn it around so you can see. I don't know if you can see there. They see the baby fawn. And Ollie, my son Ollie, is also joining us for a moment. Say hello. Oh, hi. Sweet boy. Good kid. Anyway, so I'm coming to you from here today. So there we go. Let's see what's going on around town. I have no idea what's going on around town because I have not left my house. I take that back. We've been going for walks. We've been doing some outside stuff. We just had the long weekend of Memorial Day where we did a lot of playing outside. I am back to the Laura Ingalls Wilder / Willie Nelson phase of quarantine hair because I can't anymore. It's really long and I can't deal with it. And you can see it's really brushy at the ends. I'm tempted to just cut it, but I'm not going to. So walks, the weather's nicer. It's great to actually see like spring coming, which is awesome. And I could tell you the news about my driveway. There's a baby fawn in my lawn, and this is day 2 of baby fawn hanging out in my lawn. My peonies are about to bloom, which is awesome. One bloomed this there was one bloom this morning that I promptly chopped off and put on my kitchen table because love peonies. And my lilac tree by my front yard looks like it's dead. Yay. Which is a bummer because that's my other favorite flowers, peonies and lilacs. So I'm a late spring kind of girl, apparently.
So this is what, week 11 or week 12? I think this is week 12.
Time isn't real anymore.
No, it's not real anymore. I stopped writing. I did quarantine menus week 1, week 2. Quarantine cuisine, that's what it was. And I have stopped menu planning, though we are still eating. I don't know. Sometimes it's retroactive menu planning. So anyway, we are coming to you from our back porch like we did last time. Different angle because when I was trying to set it up a little while ago, the sun was beaming on the table and we thought that would not be very comfortable to watch and probably not comfortable to sit through either. Not for me. I hate the sun.
Now the sun is gone.
And now the sun is gone. But that's okay. Still. It's another corner. So for around town, there's not too much new around town. Actually, things are starting to relax a little bit in New Jersey. And our curbside pickups have been going really well. We're doing curbside pickup Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 11 to 1. Everything has to be prepaid, so people have either been calling, emailing, texting, leaving voicemails, and we kind of get their order all resolved. And then either we send them an invoice and they pay in advance, or during the phone hours when I'm in the store, I can take a credit card over the phone. So that has been going really well. And then we also have hours on Saturday from 9 to 11. Same deal. Stores like ours are not supposed to be having customers inside of them still. But we're really happy that we have the curbside pickup option. So
It's a lifesaver.
It is, definitely. So the other thing that we have, besides Yarnia-related activities, and actually you have a Yarnia-related activity you can talk about.
Yes. Well, I was going to talk about it in Works in Progress.
Oh, okay. All right.
So, foreshadowing.
Those of you who've seen Haley on the podcast before know that actually, you can credit Ms. Waller in what, fourth grade? Yeah. The best English teacher.
Yeah, I guess that's where I learned
all
the
about
trade.
Foreshadowing. She became the literary person that she is. So yes, Haley's been working on something, and actually I'm working on something big that I can't talk about yet, but hopefully by next episode we can talk. We are very excited. The other thing that we've been doing, and as a family with my husband Gene, Haley's dad, is Animal Crossing.
We got it as like, my dad...
It was a Mother's Day gift.
Yeah, it was a Mother's Day gift. My dad was like, we should just get it. I don't know why I was so against it, but I think subconsciously my brain knew it would be so addicting that like once you started you couldn't get out. So if you need any confirmation, yes, it is very addicting.
It's very addicting, and we take turns. We actually got 2 more controllers.
We got
so we
because
can all
like we haven't
play.
been spending any money, and we were like, you know what, you just gotta splurge in this time.
So our island is called Felicitas. We were looking for something happy, and I
Yeah.
don't know why we went with the Latin, but we did.
We just, I don't know. That's
We were
like
in a silly
name.
mood that night.
So we're gonna throw up some pictures.
Yeah, we got a picture of our
Screenshots.
island, and this is, I don't know, as of a few days ago, a week ago maybe. And then we had a little family photo too that I took one night when we were in party play mode. So we'll put that up.
If you want to visit our island, comment below.
Yeah, exactly.
We want other fruit.
And actually, we have to visit Jen's island. Jen did send me her code. So Jen has been into this way longer than us. So she's part of why I was inspired to say, sure,
Yeah,
I would love
exactly.
Animal Crossing for Mother's Day. So that is really, I think, it for around town right now.
Yes.
All
Just
right.
playing like that, just some games, like Pocket Frogs has been a game I've been playing in app. And that's it's an interesting game because it's also very like chill, and like if you're used to games that are like you have to do a lot,
Action-oriented.
it's not that. It's very like you feel like you're not really doing anything, but it's very calming, and
You're collecting
It's-
different frogs, right? Is it?
I'll send a screenshot and we can
Okay.
put up a picture of my frogs.
And you're working on
like,
the color wheel right now.
It's
right?
odd because it's one of the games, like one of the only games that has survived. Literally, like I had that on the first, like when you had the first iPhone, and then like you got the second one, and I got it and I used it as an iPod. That was like a game on. It's from 2010. Like
Wow,
it
so it's 10
survived
years.
the
It's-
whole.
All the technology
Decade.
changes we've
So,
had. Yeah. Very
If you need a
interesting.
game recommendation that's calming, if you're stressed out, it's addicting also, but in like a subtler way. Because like there's 40,000 things you can collect, so
Wow.
you have your work cut out for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I definitely have not been, any of my Candy Crush time has been now shuttled over to Animal Crossing, which I'm fine with. I one game at a time for me. That's, it's funny. I definitely knit many different things at one time, but I can only spend so many hours a day playing games. So Animal Crossing is my game of the
I
moment.
can only spend so many hours a day playing games without feeling like I'm literally not doing anything productive.
So, all right. So anyway, as we said, that's it for us for around town, and we'll be back in a little bit with some finished objects.
Thanks so much for joining us again on these disconnected virtual, well, it's always virtual podcast, right? I mean, nobody's sitting live audience in our store anyway, but especially when we can't be together, it's so good to have you guys still joining us every other week for our podcast. If you're enjoying these, definitely like and subscribe down below. Yeah. It really helps us. We're almost to 700 subscribers. And if like last time I'm off by a week or even a couple days, if you're subscribing and you hit the little bell, it'll send you a notification to your phone so you'll know when a new episode is up. I know I really enjoy watching some of my favorite knitting podcasts on the weekend when I'm getting housework done and things like that, right? Or the luxury of getting to sit and knit and watch a knitting podcast. This week, I watched Skeindier's newest podcast while I cleaned up my dining room and living room. Yeah, because I hadn't had time to do that, and got to see all of her newest things she's working on. So it's a lot of fun, you know, I think just to put us all in the background. Sometimes when you're working on housework, it goes a lot faster. But let's see, going on around town, we're still in lockdown, mostly, right? New Jersey is opening up. I think all states are opening up a little bit, but it's definitely a phase 1 thing. So stores like ours are allowed to have, you know, curbside pickup now, which is really good. Everybody can avoid those shipping fees, and I need to put that back on our website. I'll do that. Have store pickup available for stuff you order online, so that'll be good. Well, it is good. We've been doing it, but I haven't had it as an option online, so I'll do that. And then, what else? Other than that, I guess the parks are open back up again, which is very good. So the parks are open again, which is really nice. We live in close walking distance to 2 parks, which I walk through sometimes. I mean, a lot of times it's only a few minutes more for me to walk to town rather than drive and park and all that kind of thing. So when I do that, I walk through one of the parks, but especially my kids, my older girls, like to meet their friends in the park and, you know, walk around. It's a big part of their social time. Obviously they can't do that now, but it's funny, they've been like social with each other more. So my second, who is 18, has been like the band leader of family walks every single day. She's great about it, super diligent, and she conscripts, I don't know, makes my 8-year-old, well, she will be 8 next week, go walking with her every single day. And sometimes the 14-year-old joins in too, but they have like a loop they walk that does involve going by Starbucks, and so I can tell when they're out. My little Starbucks app says that I just bought something. And then they go down to the other park. Obviously, when you're in parks, you have to keep your masks on. You have to be, so, you know, safely distant. But it's been nice that they've, you know, had those places to walk now, which is a little bit nicer and certainly safer when you're going with an 8-year-old or a 5-year-old, you know, than just on the sidewalks of, you know, some streets that can be a little bit busy. And school is almost out. Yay! I think the public schools go a little bit longer. My 2 have 2 more weeks of school. By the time this comes out, 1 more week of school. So we're looking at what are we going to do for the next 3 months, right? Because unfortunately, all of our summer camp plans are kaput. But I've been like looking for what places are having good online summer camps, and I have seen some that are like 9 in the morning until 1 in the afternoon or something, summer camp, and have your kid in front of Zoom and we're going to do all these activities. I don't think that's right for us. I mean, my kids haven't particularly loved being at Zoom school that much. They like more real interaction. That's why I've been spending, you know, my mornings teaching the kids. So yeah, but I am looking for like, you know, activities that are maybe 1 hour or 2 hours at a time, hour and a half, something like that. That's like subject focused. So I found 2 things that I think are really going to be fun for the 8-year-old who loves art. Yeah, so my 8-year-old has been taking, well, we signed up for the spring session of these Zoom classes from the Montclair Art Museum, and Abby has been loving them. They've done a really good job putting together a series for her age group. She's 7 now, like I said, she'll be 8 in 2 weeks. So she's been doing the Studio Explorers level and having a whole lot of fun. And it's been super good. Like the instructor is focused on the kids, and the kids really get engaged, and they're making like really good creative art projects. That's not something that she would, you know, think up to do on her own at all. Really enjoys it. So they have a summer camp series. Some of them are more like Studio Explorer type, you know, mixed media, different types of media every day, that have like a common theme. Some of them are like exploring a topic in more detail, because now she'll be 8, so she can do those like more topic-based things. So Abby's doing one camp that is like more of the studio, like try different things. She really wants to work with clay. They didn't have a pottery one this time, but that's what she's asking me. She's like, is there one with clay? So we'll see. But the second session, they also have a painting, they have a painting series, so, or, you know, camp. That's an hour and a half a day for 2 weeks, and you practice different painting techniques. And so she's really looking forward to that. She picked that out instead of the more general studio class. So interested to see how that goes. So that'll be 2 weeks of, I think, you know, really a lot of fun for Abby. And then the other thing I found, which I don't know how excited the kids are going to be, but I think it's good for them, and I think it'll be fun too. Yeah, I think it'll be fun, is practicing their French with FIAF. So FIAF does have like a longer like camp, more structured camp every day, where, you know, it's more the 9 to 1 thing. I don't think that's for us. But they also have their regular Benjamin and Minim classes, which are, you know, for the Benjamins are for the 6 and 7 year olds, so that would be Eric. And it's an hour and a half a week. You know, once a week it's going to class, it's learning your French, your basic words. Yeah. Okay, so like I said, Benjamin's is for the 6 and 7 year olds. Minim is for like 8 to 10 or 8 to 12. Abby was in the Benjamins, but I'll probably put her even at the beginner level. Maybe I'll shoot FIAF a note and see if they think she's advanced beginner, but I don't think so. Just judging from where her French is now. She can count, but it's not awesome. But I don't know. I'm a big advocate for learning multiple languages. I think it's super helpful when you grow up. Maybe that's just because I was a French major in college. Anyway, so yeah, so that's going around town. If you know of any camps that have that kind of like maybe an hour a day or hour and a half for, you know, little boys who are like 7, let me know, because I'm really looking for something for Eric to do. I'd love to find something like Lego related for him. Most stuff I find is like a little bit older, like they're looking at, you know, like 10-year-olds who are doing robotics and things like that. I mean, he's gonna just turn 7 on, you know, June 16th. Is he 7? Yeah, I guess so. No, he's just turning 6. He's turning 6, yeah. So just turning 6 years old. I was like, wow, that seems old for him. Yeah, because he's turning 6. But yeah, if you know any, you know, Zoom camps, obviously it doesn't have to be local, because who cares? Yeah, let me know. That would be really cool. Let's see, anything else? Oh, another camp, just FYI. My 14-year-old is looking into it, sees if she wants to do it. So she plays viola, and all my big girls play instruments or sing. So she's actually looking at New England Music Camp, which is doing a virtual music camp this summer with like private lessons and ensemble stuff somehow. I don't know how the ensemble is going to work, but theory classes and, you know, like master classes and things like that. It's obviously not all day. It's not the live away camp experience, music festival camp experience that you would normally have. But if you have an aspiring musician who's, you know, really wants to do something this summer, maybe check out New England Music Camp, because Yeah, my kids went there for years. They do a good job.
All right, so we are back to talk about finished objects. And I'm so excited because I really have some finished objects this time.
And I have 0.
We take turns. It's been, I feel like it's been a while since I've had a substantial finished object. I had a lot of things that were almost done. And so now I do have some finished objects.
A lot in the works.
Yeah, usually always have a lot in the works, which I don't mind. I like having different projects for different kinds of knitting. Like sometimes, like if I'm knitting while I'm watching TV, there are certain things I won't work
that's
on.
a classic.
But anyway, we're trying to be quick because we've got to get to the store soon to do curbside pickup. So I will not elaborate on that. So I'm wearing my Magnolia chunky cardigan made as a pullover,
Which you have seen before.
I am so happy with the fit. I love it.
Pretty.
I did it in Spun Right Round Squish DK in the color Treasured, which I love, and we have restocked in the store. These come in packs of 4, which was enough for me to make like an extra large size sweater. So this is based on the Magnolia chunky cardigan pattern. There is a pullover version, but it's done with an even bulkier yarn, and this was the yarn I wanted to use. It was about the same weight as what I used for the cardigan that I did make from the pattern. So what I did was I added another lace repeat. I know I've talked about it before, but it probably makes a little more sense to see it. So literally this part of the sweater is what would have been the button bands and an opening in the cardigan version.
Oh yeah.
And I just added the stitch count.
That's
the only modification. Well, except I did Jen's trick of casting on the number that I would have had after the first set of increases, because I wanted the neckline of this to be more open since it is a pullover. I didn't want it to be up close, tight to my neck. And actually, I feel like it fits similar to the way the Love Note fits, and I was really happy with that. So I don't know how many more days I'm going to get to wear it. I actually haven't really worn it.
But that would be a really good end of summer, fall.
Oh yeah, definitely. And even if I'd finished it a little bit sooner, or if we were doing things where if I were going into the store,
but who
to
knows
see people in the store.
How many days we will have of chilly, because climate change makes all the days, I don't know.
I know, but you know me, I always know the weather forecast 10 days out, and we're not supposed to have another day in our area for 10 days. We're not going to wear this, and then we're into June.
Meteorologists that much.
I do. They're usually pretty accurate.
In middle school, all my teachers would get mad at them for snow days and not predicting them, and they're like, they are the highest paid job that consistently gets their job wrong.
Well, partly it's within most of them now, within 24 to 48 hours, it is incredibly accurate.
Well, I was just saying that was also however many years long.
Yes, I know. All right, so number 1, Magnolia chunky cardigan done as a pullover. Love it. Highly recommend. I believe I have notes on Ravelry about it. If I don't, I will update them.
Oh, also, this should be in the whip section, but last podcast I said that I would update my Ravelry projects, but I haven't done it, but I will do it soon, because that's one of your works in progress. That's a whip, soon to be.
All right, so my second finished object is my second Nightshift. Which was so close to being done last time. I waited until we got more of the background color that I used, Silk Garden Solo in Mushroom. I had substituted something else, and I just wasn't happy with it. Wasn't
it thicker, or did you just not, the bind off was a lot thicker at the other?
It's just been blocked now. It kind of squishes down. So the other thing I did, and shoot, there's a landscaper nearby.
Sorry if it's loud in the background noise.
So I added a little bit more length. The way this pattern works, the way I've explained it to people working on it in the store, is you've got kind of your single dots and your double dots, and generally you have 5 sets of single dots and then 5 sets of double dots. Because I knew I wasn't going to have enough yarn, even though I added extra beyond what the pattern said, to do both single dots and double dots, and I didn't want it to end on the single dots. I just did, I think I've got 13 repeats of double dots here as the end. I think it looks fine. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I like it. It's enough that it goes with the pattern. You won't notice it as an off.
No, I think you would have noticed it if it were single. I think they wouldn't have looked as I don't know, I tend to think about things in terms of weight and the way they look a little more weighty, and like the outside edge of something usually should have more weight than the inner part. Landscaper must be 2 houses over. I really hope it's not too loud. All right, but we'll make this quick.
We'll just talk louder.
Well, exactly. We'll just be more loud. And my third finished object is actually what I'm thinking of as a refinished object, and I'm going to show you the side that has the ends woven in, because there's one more end to weave in. I did the Savage Heart cardigan, finished it a while ago. I'm sure I showed it on a podcast.
You did.
And even though I did the longer length, I wasn't really happy with the length. I'm 5'7"-ish, and I don't know, I guess, and it's funny because one of our customers made it who's about 5'3", and she's like, the long length is long on me. And I'm like, well, we're 4 inches different in height. So, and also people have different proportions of leg to body and whatever.
Like my boyfriend's hips and all, like at least like a long time ago, like our hips were kind of at the same place, but he's literally like 8 inches taller than me, and it's all in his waist, like
his upper body, yeah,
his torso.
So anyway, I decided after mulling it over, I liked it. I didn't want to frog the whole sweater or anything, but I wanted to do something to make it a little longer, and echoing the ribbing on the edge that's the detail of Savage Heart, I decided to add ribbing to the bottom and the cuffs. Yep. So what I did was I picked up stitches. I did a 3 stitches to 4 proportion. No, actually, because this is I did 3 stitches to 4 because I was picking up along the side of these stitches. And then I knit.
And now I know what you're talking about because I watched Jen's little tutorial.
Yes.
So I know why you have to do not 1-to-1.
So if you did 1-to-1 on this, well, it would have been a lot more knitting. Number one, it would be roughly, exactly.
But this is like definitely flat. Like the ratio is definitely fine.
Well, partly the ratio, it's because of the ratio that is flat, but partly it's because so let me go back and say, I knit about 3.5 inches, and then I did a tubular bind off on like 360 stitches. That took about 2 evenings while watching television. I got very good at Kitchener, though I'm sure I'll still look it up again the next time I need to do it because it tends to be like once a year.
But it looks very nice.
It looks very nice. I also learned something. The place that I used as a reference for my tubular bind off said to work 4 rows total before you actually started the Kitchenering. And I realized when I did it, actually when I started to do the tubular bind off, that was giving me a much wider sort of loop at the bottom. You might be able to see it a little bit. I won't do it that way again. Jen, it's so funny when Jen and I were
on knit night.
It was at knit night. We were talking about it. I'm like, when did I see her? I haven't seen her in person in like 11, 12 weeks. As soon as I started talking about it and when I found, she's like, one.
No.
So yes, and so hey, that's pretty good that I'm actually now intuiting what Jen's gonna say, because I knew when I did it, I'm like, oh no, I should have only done 1 because I could picture hats.
Well, also it's a learning experience. Even if you have to look up Kitchener, you'll know how many rows to do.
I will not forget again. Though I did actually make a note in that book that says don't do 2 and 2 with your slip stitches. Do 1 and 1.
It's on its way to becoming the Half Blood Prince knitting.
That's true. It's got a lot of notes, but hopefully not dangerous to anybody. So the other thing I did though was I blocked the ribbing out. Normally people, always say, "Oh, don't block ribbing. You'll kill it. You'll flatten it out." Well, that was actually what I wanted in this case. I wanted it to look.
You just needed the length. You didn't need.
I didn't want it to squinch in. Exactly, the cinch. So I'm super happy with it. It was a good amendment to make to this. It was not hard to do. And it took, I don't know, like 2/3 of a ball of yarn. Not even, maybe a half a ball of the same yarn that I used for the sweater. So I am happier with it.
Which is diamond.
Superwash.
In what color?
901. I don't know, gray. It's a gray. It's a charcoaly gray. So
there's children screaming in the background.
Sorry about that. Not ours.
Yeah, somewhere in the distance. Hopefully they're playing.
I'm sure they are. All right, so that is it for finished objects for us today, and
we have a bunch of whips.
We do have a bunch
we
of
will
whips.
see you later.
We'll see you later. Right now, we're going to go do some courage pie delivery.
My
all right?
hair will be dry by then.
And I'll be wearing something else because it'll be close to 80. All right.
So we'll see. But I do have one finished object that is not knitting or crochet, but did come from the store, so it counts. So we'll go for it. And it is this embroidery from Embroidering and Stage. This is from a kit that we carry. I don't know if we have any more in stock, but I do know that we have a couple of other embroidery kits. So if you, like me, are in the mood to stab something thousands and thousands of times, give us a heads up. We'll check it out. This kit I really love because it's the tops of buildings from New York. She had a bunch of New York themed ones. So there's this one. You may have seen the Katz's Deli one that's hanging in the store. And I think there's one of Top of the Rock, Rockefeller Center. I'm not sure. Again, I don't remember what we have in stock or if we've sold out of these, but I know that we have a couple of other embroidery kits. I like embroidery kits because first off, you can see they're small. This just took a couple of days. This was mostly running stitch or back stitch, and it's one color, which is always nice. It was actually only one strand of embroidery floss, so I have a lot of black embroidery floss left, but you know, who can't use that? But I love embroidery kits because they come everything all in one. So if you just want to do a quick little jaunt aside from whatever your stockinette project is or your crochet blanket, then it's a nice little detour into the embroidery world, and you can come back because all fiber stuff is fun stuff. So that's my finished object. Do I have anything else finished object? No, I do not. I have nothing finished object. So,
what's on my needles? I don't have anything new to show you on my needles, which is probably a good thing because I have so many whips I don't need to be casting anything else on. And I'm only going to show you the things that I made progress on. There are a couple you might say where's that Demyakalopa? Didn't pick it up. And what else did I not pick up? I didn't pick up that. Probably something else too. But anyway, if I didn't work on it materially, I'm not showing you because I have enough. So first, I'm working on Helen Stewart's Handmade Sock Society this year, which I love. This is the second time I've done Helen's Handmade Sock Society. The first time was her first release, then I had a baby for the second one and it just seemed a little too overwhelming. But this year I started it again, so I'm working on this third Handmade Sock Society, and I started the rainy window socks. You remember last time I started them, and this is my hand sock blocker, such as it is. This is Crowded Cloud is the name of the color, and the yarn is the Classic Sock base. And Spun Right Round. Spun Right Round's Classic Sock base. It's a wool nylon blend, very tightly plied merino nylon. Makes a nice smooth fabric. Yeah, I'm really enjoying this sock. I did notice that Helen Stewart came out with her fourth sock in the Handmade Sock Society. I kept up extremely well with the first two and thought I was on track on this one, and obviously I'm not because I'm only halfway done with the first sock and the fourth sock. The first sock of this third sock and the fourth sock already came out. That means I've spent 4 weeks doing half a sock. Oh well. Maybe I'll put it, because this has been my evening project. So I put it by my bed, and if my husband and I are watching TV or something, then I'll pick this up and knit on it because it's nice and easy. And once you get the pattern, I don't use the pattern. I mean, once you get this, this raindrop thing that's going on, I don't refer to the pattern anymore, except at the beginning of exactly where to place these eyelets each time you start a new eyelet row. But now my oldest daughter came home from college, and we've been watching not as much Doctor Who this time, but we've been watching The Prisoner. at night because she's never seen it before. So yeah, I haven't been making as much progress on my upstairs project, so maybe I'll bring it downstairs. But what I have been working on instead, I will make progress on this. I will have a finished sock by the next podcast. Not two, just one. But anyway, what I did make progress on, what I worked on a lot, which was, I think I mentioned last time, I know I mentioned it last time, but it was great, like while the kids are at school knitting and all that jazz, is my Lourdes top by Amy Christoffers. Yay! Which it's going to be a great, I think, great summer top. Right? Okay, let me see if I can back up. Almost got the whole thing in. Yay! So this is knit in our new yarn for the spring, Noro Tsubame, which is as Noro often is, multi-fiber blend. It's 50% silk, 25% wool, 25% something sort of synthetic-y. I want to say tencel maybe. Maybe. But yeah, excellent, super smooth. Definitely has that silk feel. But a little bit of the wool warm. So I don't know if it's not a 90-degree top. It's definitely a 70-degree top, which I think is going to be just lovely. I don't have many of those, even in my commercial wardrobe. Okay, but now the problem. So as you can see, finished the back. Yay! Did I show you that last time? I feel like maybe I did. Maybe I showed you the back last time. Started the front. Yay! Ran out of yarn. Boom! So yeah, I ran out of yarn. Tsubame comes in, if you remember, I had it on as like the new thing. It's about this big, 200-gram skeins, which is great. You get a lot of yardage. We've had a couple of customers knit a whole scarf out of one skein. It's great. If you want to knit a garment, get two, at least. Yeah, because I ran out pretty much at the sleeve divide, right? So it'll go like up to here, and then I gotta get another ball to do the top. So I'll probably go by the store tonight and get another ball, but now you know how far 2 balls gets. It gets the whole front and 2/3 of another side. I think this will be really cute. My oldest daughter has already claimed it. I'll probably wear it. We'll wear it while we're not open for real at Yarnia, and then when we open, then I'll have it as a store sample for a while, and everybody can come see it. And then she might get it because she really loves it. She loves those Noro, the Noro look. I do too, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't have started it. But she feels probably more passionate about it than I do. So the next thing I've been working on is my Elder Throw by Lisa Richardson. I have made progress. I'm still in clue 3. Clue 3, I will be on for a while. So you might not see this actually for a few weeks until I finish clue 3, because I feel like giving you an update of like, hey, I've finished the same panel multiple times is not super interesting in different colors, right? So maybe I'll just show you when I finish clue 3 and start on clue 4. That's probably the most useful, but I'll give you a good show of clue 3 for now in case you haven't, in case you're even further behind me. Yeah, so again, just a reminder of how this works. 13 colors of Rowan felted tweed. It's a knit along. It's not a mystery knit along. You can see the whole blanket and how it looks. But it is sort of serially released. The pattern isn't available all at once. So Rowan is releasing it every 2 weeks this spring and summer through July. So the first release was these mitered squares, right? And they went together like that. You made four sections like this and then one big center section. Then Rowan released Clue 2, and Clue 2 were these lacy panels, right? That lace, like that. Yeah, don't ever say that I don't have mistakes in my work, because I totally do. Don't care. It's a blanket. Yeah, so each of these, so it's also a blanket that you put together like as you knit it. You pick up stitches as you go, so there's no putting pieces together at the end. So these were knit onto the sides of Clue 2, or Clue 1, right? Clue 2 goes onto Clue 1, like that. And then we add Clue 3 to the side of Clue 1 and 2, like that. And Clue 3, which is why it's taking longer, right? Clue 2, lace, yarn overs, knit two togethers. I can do that super fast. No problem. Clue 3 is little 1x1 cables. There, let me get this string out. Yeah. So it's little 1x1 cables and a lattice that create a lattice pattern like this, which is great. And I don't use a cable needle for these. Rowan actually has a nice tutorial on how to do that. Here's the gray version, same pattern. Yeah, so I don't use, but it still takes time, and every right side row has cabling in it. So yeah, it takes a lot more time to do one of these panels. Yeah, so that's why it's taking me about a week to do each one of these. I'm on my third currently. I did stop at the end of a row so I could show you. I'm working on this cumin color right now, which I really like. I like this. I might have to do something this fall in this cumin color. It's quite lovely. Yeah, but I'm going to be slogging through these panels for a while. I have peeked ahead to the next one and it looks a lot faster. So I think Lisa did a really nice job in like getting you started really fast and using all the colors, and then, you know, the lace panels were really pretty fast. I finished those in 2 weeks, no problem. Week and a half really. Dropped my yarn. But then you have this one that's going to take a little bit longer, and then you'll have a break and do a faster one. So I think it has a good cadence. I'm not mad. It's fine. It's just I can't keep up and finish 8 of these in 2 weeks. I could, if I was quarantined and had no children, or, you know, I was keeping a house for myself, maybe myself and my husband, which is a lot of folks' situation right now, and I think they're going a lot faster on this than I am. If you're bored and want to teach kids in the morning, let me know. Just kidding. but that's definitely going to keep me going slower on the elder throw for a while, which is fine. I still think I'm keeping up a good pace. It's actually super helpful. We have a few customers that are knitting the elder throw too, and they're finding Clue 3 to be a little bit slow as well, which is good. So it's nice when you're knitting along and you have like one of these projects that's going a little bit slower, like my Demyaka Lopa sleeves, to know that other people are knitting it with you, and you have like, not a deadline, but like, you want to sort of keep up with everybody else, which is what keeps a knit along. That's one good thing about a knit along, especially on bigger projects, is it keeps you a little bit motivated. There's checkpoints. People are checking on you, like, and you want to have a little bit of accountability on like, hey, you made progress. So yeah, I will make progress. You might not see it for a month until I finish all of Clue 3. But anyway, so that is the elder throw. And then my very last thing is not yet a finished project, but it's a considerably further along project, right? Because this is my pure wool worsted mystery Afghan knit along blanket by Martin Story, which the end is in sight, people. The end is in sight. So I have now pieced together 4 rows. I'm on row number 5 here, but it's looking really nice. I love it. So yeah, this is happening. It is moving along. And I can do about 1 row, I can seam about a row in an hour and a half. So 2 prisoner episodes is about 1 row. Right now I'm in the middle of row 5, but yay! This is actually going to get done. There's 8 rows. I'm doing the seam from row 4 to 5, so I've got 5 to 6, 6, 7, 7 to 8. 3 more. And I'll be done with the seams. And then we're going to use the blanket. Like I said, we're going to use the blanket. There is a braided trim that goes along this. I have the yarn and the needles in a bag. That braided trim will get done. It might get done several years from now, or a year, or whenever I get to it. But I have a lot of projects I'm working on that it might get put off for a while. It's not going to hurt the integrity of the blanket. I do want to finish it, so, you know, when this blanket gets used by people for years, it's got the nice braided trim. We're definitely going to use it in the meantime, because otherwise I don't get the satisfaction of finishing a whole lot of work. 48 squares and piecing a lot of rows and a lot of squares together. So I think that deserves some winter snuggles, or, you know, at least looking pretty on the back of the couch. Even if the braided trim isn't done yet. It will get done. It's in a bag, therefore it will get done, because nothing is allowed to come out of a bag until it is a finished object. That's my brain.
It's Kathleen and Haley. Remember to introduce ourselves this time. Back with whips. So, do you want to do one first?
You have more than me.
I have 3.
Yeah, I have 2.
Okay. So my most active whip, the last week or so, has been the Bealtaine Shawl by Carol Feller.
Which is going to be a store sample.
Yes, it is.
In
That is the pattern. Northlight Spring Street, which I had always liked. We've had this fingering since the beginning, and, you know, always admired it. And never had an opportunity to use it. And actually, it was about a year ago. Oh, probably even more than that, because I wasn't at TNNA last year. Anyway, Sven from Northlight gave me some yarn to make a sample with. And so finally I'm doing that. I actually, part of it was I liked the pattern that he suggested, but it was too fussy. It was definitely not TV knitting, and especially for a store sample, a lot of the time I like to do something that I consider TV knitting. So this, I think, is a fabulous pattern for
it does look really
a
nice.
solid yarn. And I think sometimes it's hard to find a pattern that is really going to show off a solid well. A lot of the times I wind up using a solid in combination with a multi or a speckle. But if you just have a solid that you love, this pattern, Bealtaine by Carol Feller, is a great way to show off that yarn. So if we want to bring it up, we can show some of the texture closer. And really, it is actually very easy to memorize once you get going with it. And it's interesting, there was a discussion on the Montclair Knitting Circle on Facebook not too long ago about the memorization of patterns. And one person who, I don't know if I've ever met her actually, but she was, you know, irritated, annoyed with herself, whatever, that she wasn't memorizing her pattern. And so many people chimed in and said, don't feel like you have to memorize your pattern.
Because you have the piece of paper with you.
Exactly. And
like
a lot of
open
times,
note test.
that's right.
But not a test.
There you go. When I say I've memorized a pattern, I usually do still double check at the beginning of the row, or, you know, certainly when you're changing sections. I mean, this isn't.
It's more like you can do it, most of it mindlessly, but it doesn't mean that you could like do the whole pattern
Exactly.
without the pattern in front of you.
So this is an 8 row lace repeat, and
Because it becomes muscle memory, like, while you're working on it.
yes, I'm trying to get a thought out. This is an 8 row lace repeat, and, you know, once you're into the row, you can see what you need to be doing. But I do always check at the beginning of the row, okay, this is a row where I start, you know, with these 3 stitches, or I've got 5 stitches before the repeat begins. But then the repeat is the same all the way across. And on the back, basically, you're just, you're doing a knit stitch at the beginning, you're purling across, and then you're doing your increase by doing a yarn over and then another knit. So it is, you know, when I talk about a memorized pattern, it really is more like Haley said, like an open book test. Like, you want to have your info there to refer to, but you're mostly good on your own. So And that for me is the perfect kind of TV knitting. So I'm really enjoying this. I thought I might actually have this done for today. That would have been crazy if I had 4 finished objects for today, but it definitely should be done by next time. I'm well into my second ball. It's a two skein shawl. Oh, and I should show you the yarn too. It is caked, of course, now, but whoops. You get a feel for what it looks like. So it is, you know, it's nice and soft and smooth. It's 2 plies. It's applied yarn with 2 plies, it appears. Could put my, yeah, I mean, that's certainly what it looks like as I was working it. And it really is a lovely yarn from Northlight on Block Island, Rhode Island. So that is whip number 1 for me. Do you want to do your whip number 1?
So I don't really have that much because this is the main thing I've been working on. It's the same blanket that we showed last.
The giant blanket. It's more giant than it was before.
I took a
Did
picture.
I see you? Yeah, I saw you taking pictures.
Of it because I haven't measured it, but it's definitely maybe double from what it was last time. Because I keep thinking like, oh, I'm almost done with I'm almost gonna run out of yarn, but then I find more upstairs, like in my stash buckets that I could use, like that didn't make the first cut, but now since I've been working on it, I just know it'll fit. So this is it, and since it's so big, I don't know, should we just leave it folded?
Yeah,
and
let's hold it up. Let's hold up like show the newer part of it. Wow, it is really big.
But it's
great.
so squishy, even just like doubled. It's really nice.
Very nice. It's gonna look lovely on the back of your sofa. So this is where do you still have yarn attached, or are you
Yep,
kind of?
yeah.
How long do you think you're gonna go?
I just going until.
Well, you don't want it to be so big that like, I don't know, like how is there a size of Afghan that's too big?
I mean, not it. I don't think if it's gonna be like a snuggle blanket, I think it's fine. It's better to have more because if you like lay your feet out, you want it to like cover your feet and be
wrap
able
under.
To, like, tuck under. Your
I
chin.
always, when I'm not feeling well, I love to tuck it under the feet, under the chin. Yeah. All right. So I don't know, maybe another foot or something.
I
Who
don't
knows?
measure.
You don't rush it.
I don't measure.
You don't measure. Yep. All right. So very nice. That is the granny stripe blanket.
So yeah, this is basically the only actual like project I've been working on since the last podcast, just because it's mindless enough and like it's easy enough to pick up and like you don't have to even like finish a row or anything.
And you've basically been doing 1 row per color. For the most
I just
part.
go with how I feel. Like the most I did was like 3 rows of a color, but like usually I'll do 1 and I'm trying to make it look sort of like unintentionally, I guess like just scrappy, because I try to make it not like in the middle. It's all like when you look at it like full on. It's not just single rows in the middle and then like on the ends it's doubled up. It might be clearer with the picture, with the big picture, but I did it scrunched and like artistically because that's the trends on the Instagram. But yeah, I mean it's mostly 1 row. I kind of didn't realize how long I went just doing 1 row per color, and so I'm trying to just even it out because I just want it to look not like too strict.
Yeah, and I have not. I had one that I thought would be a whip this time that I haven't really gotten into yet. Partly because I got so into the Bealtaine
I do have
shawl.
another thing that I forgot to bring up.
All right. Well, we can pause if you want. So the next one I have is another shawl, and that I've shown before, and I've probably worked on it a bit since the last podcast. It is the Breathe and Hope shawl by Casapinka. So that is a closer look at, I don't know what section I'm up to. I'm sure I have my thing marked right here. I am halfway through section 6. So, yeah, it's a really nice pattern. It is very relaxing. Once I finish the other shawl, I'll be getting back to this one. And 2 colors of fingering. One, it's written for a tonal and a speckle or 2 speckles. Mine is a little less contrasty than I might like, but I'm still going to love it. The yarn is nice and squishy, and I'm using Eiffel Tower and Irish linen, and we do still have a few of the Eiffel Tower left in the store. I found actually a couple more that I thought we were out of it, but then when we were shuffling some things around, I found some more. And there definitely are other colors that go really well with this. Somebody called me up and I put together a custom kit for her with, I forget what we wound up going with the second color.
Was it oxblood?
No, it wasn't oxblood. I can look it up.
That was one of the options.
Yeah. That Eiffel Tower has so many colors in it. It really looks good with a lot of different things. It's dark grays, it's like navy, it's tones of brown. Yeah, it's a really pretty and unusual yarn. I haven't seen colors like that in too many other skeins, I feel like.
But it works really well. Like the palette in the yarn works
Mm-hmm.
well.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is coming along. That's going to be like a nice thin, wrap around, more like a scarf type shawl. So yes, I'm looking forward to finishing that one and be wearing it eventually. All right.
So this is my it's like a pre-whip.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't really, it's still in the beginning.
Oh yes, how could I forget?
This is a giant bag of plastic bags. Some of them, like most of them, are just from moving from Canada back home and stuff that just
a lot's from the store. A lot of it's like bags
and then
that we got yarn
the
in.
other half is from yarn bags that we get shipped. Packs of 10 of skeins get shipped, and then I think it might have been London K I saw on her Instagram makes, because obviously she's a crochet designer and she makes a lot of street art, and so the yarn she orders, she just orders straight. She doesn't get it from a store, I guess, mostly because it's going to be outside, so she probably wouldn't get hand dyed. It's more, she probably uses a lot of acrylic, so she just
and she deals directly with manufacturers, basically, as an artist, yeah. Mm-hmm.
She, I think it was her, maybe on just a story, she, in the same way that some people make t-shirt yarn, she made yarn from plastic, and, I haven't done that in a while, but, when I finally started, I will look up, the tutorials, just, I know you, kind of make it into a spiral when you cut it, and then just use the yarn. So, at first I was thinking maybe I'll make mats out of it, because that's what she's making and what I've seen online. Mm-hmm. Some people make mats for either homeless shelters or just something so that there's a cushioning. Mm-hmm.
We did that. It may have been it's probably when you were still in high school at the Montclair Knitting Circle.
That was the first year.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then I had an idea, why don't I just make, because that would be a longer term project, to make us full body size.
It does take a lot of
mat.
plastic. Yeah.
So I was thinking, with what I have right now, I could make grocery bags.
Reusable
grocery bags, and maybe sell them at the farmer's market and donate all the profits to Tony's Kitchen or something. Mm-hmm. So that's a project that I keep looking at and I'm collecting for, but I haven't begun. So this is the view of the inside, and this is a bag from Mood, the fabric store they went to in Project Runway.
Yes. Which is in New York, and we've been to. Have you been there a couple of times or just once?
Yes.
So I don't think I had a copy of the magazine with me last time, and this I'm kind of at the same point as Haley. I'm preparing for a project, but I haven't.
So many up here, none up here.
I haven't completely started yet. So this is, I don't know what, maybe the last issue of Knit Simple, or maybe the next to last. They've announced that they were ceasing publication.
Oh no.
And Vogue Knitting's actually going to twice a year. Amanda is a big fan of this magazine, and I definitely have.
We've talked about it a bunch at Knit Night.
Started, finding nice patterns in there as well. So I'm making a sweater, the cover sweater basically, but I'm going to make it with more of a scoop neck, and it's a bottom up, so it's going to be easy to modify and start the decreases a little sooner. And I had been thinking about doing it in Juniper Moon Zoe, which I did show my swatch at that point. But I just was looking at the project on the cover, and actually the yarn it is done in is Rowan hand knit cotton, which we do carry at Yarnia, but I thought it would be even prettier in Rowan cotton cashmere. So I started swatching in that. And actually I was swatching for a different sweater. I started out swatching for the double V.
Right.
I still probably will do that in something. I think it is a great summer sweater pattern, but I think I was working with this yarn and I just thought it's so pretty. The cotton cashmere just has such a lovely look and texture to it. I remember
the tone of the color is nice too.
Yeah. So, I think that's one of those things when you're doing a project, it's not just finding a yarn you like. It's not just finding a pattern that you like. It's finding the right marriage of the pattern and the yarn. And so I've been kind of percolating a few different summer sweater ideas in my head. And like I said, I do want to do the double V at some point. Started with the Zoe, decided it wasn't right for it. Went to the cotton cashmere, decided, yes, I do want to use this yarn right now. But as I was working the garter, I'm like, I want to see what this looks like in stockinette. And I love the look of it in the stockinette.
Really nice.
It really does. I think it just shows off the beauty of the yarn. So this pattern is much more, you're going to see that. You're going to see the flat stockinette section. And I know it's going to be fine for the lace as well. So by the next time we talk to you, this should be a well underway whip. Should be. I think it will be. I mean, I'm itching to do this. I just haven't done it yet. And then we'll figure out what the Zoe is going to be. So that
I think I wanted to, like, I almost grabbed a couple colors from the store today when doing inventory to show now, but I didn't for the tank top that I showed last time, the green diamond one, because I think I might change that to be this, but in the like aqua blue.
That would be very pretty.
Or like the more green blue.
We have a lot of nice colors of that.
Yeah, but I started off with one and then I'm like, oh, but that one looked nice and that one looked nice too. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and actually, like you were saying, so Haley's doing inventory for us at Yarnia, so that's
the whip. That's the foreshadowing. That's, yes.
That's right.
So I do have 3.
Talked about earlier.
That's why when we're doing curbside pickup for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, except I didn't go last weekend.
Saturday's early.
It's at 9 a.m. But when my mom goes, I go and I've started taking everything down, checking it off, putting it back. And
tomorrow you'll learn how to do it on the computer too.
Yeah,
to actually finalize
going like brand by brand, and it's a big project, but it's organizing and numbers. Like nice simple numbers, not math. Counting. I like counting. I don't like math with numbers. I just like counting. So that's like a big project that I'm working on, but you can't really see it because no one can go in the store right now. So, but eventually, when the store is open again, you will all be able to see it.
And actually, I did see in our email this morning, someone had a comment that I think is a great idea, that we should show different sections of the store. Isn't that a great idea? One of the problems with that right now, though, is because no one else but us is going into the store, some of the things are shelved just with bags on the shelf.
To save time.
And also because we're pulling yarn for people to do curbside pickup and pulling things for them to see. So instead of stacking it beautifully on the shelf, we just have the bags on the shelf, and then we can easily.
It's more utility at the moment.
Yes, it is totally about the utility. It is. But I thought that was a great suggestion, and we will definitely, figure out how to work that into the next podcast.
Yeah, because I mean, like it's not like just for some pops of color.
Yes, exactly. All right, so those are our whips.
Yeah, I was gonna run off the list of projects that are in my mental queue, but that would be a lot of work for me to just put the little name and not even have a picture. So I don't have the yarn. I just have the idea. So,
but you're in the store at least 3 days a week now, so you'll be getting.
Every time last week we went, I said it and I was like, I want that yarn, and I have the pattern that I want to work on, and then we leave and I forget. So.
Because as we were saying in around town, we were spending a lot of time on Animal Crossing. So.
And I'm watching Avatar, which I never watched when.
But you mentioned actually one thing related to knitting and Animal Crossing. You saw socks, right? Didn't you say you saw a pattern?
Did. We can link it below. I saw on like knitting Reddit, like the knitting subreddit, because like there's actually, because I like Instagram for patterns, like the explore page, but that's not really reliable. It's more reliable than like Pinterest for actually getting the pattern, but
For sure.
there's a high percentage of accounts that are like Russian, and I don't speak or read that, and oftentimes the translation is not accurate, like Instagram's translation, so that's not exactly reliable for like
Being
the
able to
pattern.
find
Like
the
it's
ultimate
good
pattern.
for inspiration, but the knitting and crochet subreddits, which I like dabble in, like I just like stalk and scroll just for like inspiration, they're actually pretty good because people post the pattern and it's like them making it right then, like it's up to date and current. So there's some ideas if you're bored with all the socials. But there's socks I saw yesterday or this morning that are like Nook ink socks that would be sold at the Nook stop, but
In Animal Crossing.
in Animal Crossing. So we'll link it below.
If you, yeah, and
if
actually,
you're a fan.
one
They're
thing,
quite cute. Like every time I see a sock pattern, I'm like, I might go knit for that. But I know I probably wouldn't finish it. But I want knitted socks.
in my queue on Ravelry for I don't know how many years now, because pre-Animal Crossing, I was
yeah,
a
I
fan
know.
of Harvest Moon.
We had that. That was like the.
We all had characters that we usually were, and I was going to design hats based on our character hats. And I think I have the pictures of them
Yeah.
somewhere in there, but never got around to that. So who knows, maybe it'll morph into some Animal Crossing clothing, we'll see. They do have some
that's
cute
that
knitted hats on there.
Yeah, they have a lot of the detail in that game.
Well, Ellie
It's
the
just-
elephant, she's got a great red cable sweater on.
I know. I want a cable sweater. That's one of the projects that's in here. That
And
I
you're
was.
thinking about the lucky tweet for that, right?
Yeah. But I'll feature that next time. Hopefully I'll have started it, so I won't even need to do like. It's not even a whip. It'll be a whip.
It's not a pre-whip, it's a whip. It's an actual whip. All right, so those are our whips and our whip thoughts
Yes, our future.
for now.
We're gonna go to works in progress. Work in progress. Oh, we're gonna have a visit. We have a visit. We have a visitor. This is Ollie's work in progress. Ollie, what's your work in progress?
Actually, I just finished this.
Oh, you did. So this is your finished object. What's your finished object? It's made out of zoobs.
And it's for your feet. That if my mom lets me, I may mail it to the police for.
Okay, if you want me
I'm-
to mail it to the police so they can help trap things.
Wobbles.
Oh, robbers. Okay, cool. We'll
Don't
go.
forget to mail this in real life.
Okay, we'll do this later. It's a foot trap. There you go. Work on it.
It's finished.
Yay! Okay, works in progress. I am still working on, I mean, it's no surprise, it's a granny square blanket, so I'm going to be working on it for a while. I am working on my mitered granny square blanket. Here's block 1, that's the purple square. And here's the yellow square. I still like the yellow square better. And I have many centers. There's a whole pile of centers in my New Jersey Wool Walk bag in here. So I am going to this time remember to actually take the picture that I promised Amanda I would take of the squares in black and white, and so you can check and see the tonal variations, because there was one square that I didn't love how it looked, and was that this one? I don't know. I'll have to dig in the thing to find it. So I'm playing around with the color changes, and we have a visit from Ollie. Hi, Ollie.
This is a grid.
Cool.
Fire hot dog. Hey, don't
I love
you
it.
do fall off hot dog.
He's scolding the hot dog for falling off. Really, it should know better. So I will take a picture of the squares so you can see how, with the different colors, if you change the colors to black and white, you can really see how the values change, which is super fun. And probably would have been handy to do before I did one in a different color pattern. that I didn't like. So instead of ripping it out, I could have just taken a picture, but I didn't take a picture. But now we know. So I'm still working on the crochet blanket. It's going to take me a while because it's fingering weight and I'm crazy. I'm also not sure if so I have the 2 blocks, one with the yellow square and one with the purple square, and I'm not sure if I should do a center square in one of the other colors, mostly because I'm not sure about the striping pattern, or should I just stick to those 2? What do you guys think? It's going to be outlined in gray. Let me show them again so you can see. And do I mix it up? Or do I just stick with these 2 and just make many, many more squares like this? Let me know. Let me know what you think. And then I also have one of my, well, I'll show you the other work in progress. This is needlepoint, because I'm crazy. This is a needlepoint kit I'd gotten a while ago. It's for a pillow. I clearly have a color palette. I also enjoy stabbing things. This is the yarn card I made for it. These are the yarns that will be used, and it's nice and stripy, and it's a nice soothing project. It's going to take me a while to do, because it's also like, I think 18 mesh canvas, which is kind of small. So it's a lot of stabbing, but that's good because I feel like that's a good variation. I also feel like it's good for my hands and my wrists to switch up crafts a little bit, like use different muscles for working crochet than you do for working knit, than you do for doing sewing or needlepoint. So I like to mix it up a little bit just so I don't get all twisty and weird. Anyway, so one of the other projects that I'm looking at, I don't know if you guys saw the sorrel sweater from this year, earlier this year, and I cannot remember whose sweater it is, and I will look it up because I can do that. So it's got a really pretty pulled, like, drop stitch yoke. Maybe Amanda can throw in, by Wool and Pine. It's the sorrel pattern by Wool and Pine. And it's really, really pretty. They did it in spun right round classic sock held together with a mohair. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do another mohair sweater, and the thing with the original sorrel is that it's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, but the neck is a little high for me. Oh, look, it's the same color as my t-shirt. The neck is a little high for me, so I was debating doing that, and then maybe with a mohair. I actually have one of the mohair silks, the knitted wit, I think this is Unicorn Nightmares, that I was thinking about pairing with one of the Mad Tosh socks that I have. I don't remember what color that is. And so I was thinking about doing that, and then I saw that Wool and Pine has a new pattern coming out on June 1st called Summer Sorrel, and I'm very excited for this because I don't know if you can see. First off, that model is stunning, but look at how pretty that is. It's got a wider neck. It's short sleeve, so I'm not sure if I would do a short sleeve sweater, even though I do kind of like short sleeve sweaters for this type of weather, or if I would I would just turn it into a long sleeve sweater. It's done in fingering, so just fingering, no mohair silk, so I could just use that same fingering that I have. And the pattern is coming out on 6/1. So it's a short sleeve tee with knit top down from the round. The body is worked inside out because it's reverse stockinette. And one of their samples used 3 colors for Summery Fade. So that could be a really fun way. I might need to go dig in my stash and see what I can find in fingering weight that goes together, and I might be able to fade that. That could be really fun. So I'm excited to take a look at that one. I think I'm going to get that pattern as soon as it comes up. It's really pretty, and I love that kind of like round yoke for summer. So one of the colorways, I don't know what color this is. This is Tosh Sock. I have a bunch of this. We have a bunch in the store. I think that the spun right round sock would look great. That kind of speckle. And I have this Tosh sock, which I believe is jade, which I don't know if we have any in the store or not. But again, I like the greens. So I have enough of those two that I could do the sorrel. So I'm just not sure which one I'm going to do. But I really love that pattern. I think that's really pretty. It's got a really pretty, if you look at the details, you can see it's got really pretty lifted detail, increase, stitch. I don't know. Anyway, the cat is wandering around behind the back of the computer. So if I suddenly take a dive to one side, it's because he decided to help. I'm having a lot of helpers today. Isn't that fun? Isn't that great? Okay, so let's move on to new in store. I will mention the Cumulus. Juniper Moon Cumulus is one of our favorite cotton yarns. It's super soft, it's worsted, it's made out of 94% Israeli Mako cotton and 6% polyamide, which is a nylon, for a little bit of strength. And it's got a lovely construction where it's chained, because I don't always love working with cotton yarns. I'm really particular. And Cumulus is a great cotton to work with because the chained construction adds a little bit of the elasticity that you don't get from cotton, because cotton as a fiber doesn't have any elasticity. It is a plant fiber, and plant fibers tend not to spring back the way that wool or animal fibers or alpaca or alpaca doesn't have a ton of spring either. Neither does silk. We'll just put those aside. But it doesn't have, it's a little harder on your hands. So if you've ever worked with cotton that's hard on your hands, try the Cumulus. And I would also suggest try the Rowan Cotton Cashmere, because that blend is, I feel like, very easy to work with. But back to the Cumulus. So Juniper Moon Cumulus is one of our favorite cotton yarns. I don't know if you saw a couple of years ago, Chanel did their dischains out of Juniper Moon Cumulus, which was stunning, and it was such a great wearable garment. But they took that with them when they moved. So we miss you, Chanel. And one of the new yarns that they have this season, Cumulus has come out with Cumulus Rainbow, which is a cotton Cumulus, the base that we love, in long color changing rainbows. And we have the full line of colors. There's 6. They're gorgeous. I don't have any here, but they're absolutely stunning. Amanda or Kathleen probably has them. Hopefully they'll show them. But I feel like this would be a perfect baby blanket. Easy peasy. Bang that out. Stripes do the work. You could do it in crochet. You could do it in knit. I feel like it would make a gorgeous summer shawl, like in an open work pattern. You could do one of those, what is the pattern that we have in the store? Oh goodness, we had 2 samples in it. Stormy Sky. Stormy Sky is a great fun pattern with drop stitches, and it starts small and it's an asymmetric triangle, so it goes out, so you could really just like go until you run out of yarn, which is always a fun thing to do. Quick for those chilly nights when the sun goes down and all of a sudden you realize you're freezing because you're wearing like a tank top. But I feel like Cumulus Rainbow is just going to be such a fun yarn to work up. The colors are stunning. They did a great job with the colorways. Juniper Moon Farm always does a great job with the colorways. And so that's new in store. We featured it in our newsletter last week, so you may have seen the picture. If not, just shoot us a note, email us at hello@shopyarnia, or you can give us a call, the store phone, 973-572-YARN. Amanda will correct me if I'm wrong. I don't remember. And then you can check it out and get it for curbside pickup, or we can ship it to you if you're not local, which totally cool if you're not. We'd love to see you. Also, don't forget our online knit night and crochet night on Wednesdays from 7 to 9. And we are now doing virtual help time by appointment. So if you need help with a project, email us and we will figure out a time to hook you up with our instructor, Susan, who is amazing. Susan Leibowitz is fantastic. And she can help you over the internet, the magic of modern technology. So
those of you who visited us on the weekend of the Wool Walk last year may remember that Abigail was outside selling her Girl Scout cookies with a lot of energy. We had that planned this year. We bought plenty of cookies to bring to the Wool Walk. And then the Wool Walk was canceled. And the reason that we bought cookies instead of like using it as a booth sale is because New Jersey, our Girl Scout cookie sale ended the weekend before the Wool Walk was supposed to happen. So we had to like guess how many would sell and pre-order if Abby was going to sell at the Wool Walk. So we have had a few hundred cookies sitting on our couch to sell at the Wool Walk, which is likely still going to happen, but not soon. And because I would like the second couch in my living room available, right now we have to sit on one and we have a lot of people. We actually put all of our Girl Scout cookies in inventory at Yarnia. So if you're getting a yarn order, you can also order some Girl Scout cookies. They will be available for pickup in store, or we can ship them to you. But be careful about the chocolate because I can't control the weather or the U.S. Postal Service. So if they get warm, your Thin Mints might or tag-alongs. But let me show you what I have. I have everything, basically. Do-si-dos and Lemon Ups. These are the successor to Savannah Smiles. They don't have powdered sugar on them. They have like a sugar glaze and little like inspirational things. This is the new cookie for this is the new 2020 cookie. And I think this Girl Scout here on the cover is from Montclair. Yay! Go Girl Scout Gold Award winner. Earner. Samoas. Thin Mints. S'mores. My kids love these. This is Abby's favorite, for sure. I don't get it. She loves it though. Like, loves it. Everybody has their own favorite. That's what I love about these. Tagalongs, my son's favorite. This is the chocolate with the peanut butter in the center. Trefoils, my oldest daughter's favorite. She's a tea drinker. Excellent. It's my favorite. Toffee-tastics. I don't know. They used to be a little bit smaller and they called them dulce de leches, but now they call them Toffee-tastics. Still fantastic. Gluten-free. So that is our Girl Scout cookies that are available. I will say I have very few Lemon Ups, so mainly because I'm a Lemon Up lover as well, and I ate a lot of them. And I overbought Toffee-tastics, so I've got like 4 cases of those. I will have at least 6 boxes, but I don't need 4 cases. And then a good amount of all the rest. I'd say like 2 to 3 cases of everything else. So likely, I think I only have like 5 more of these though. Anyway, yeah. So, and I will make Abby film a little bit here too, because she does like really enjoy selling her Girl Scout cookies and telling everybody about which ones are her favorites, and things like that. So yeah, I'll let you enjoy that virtually this year.
Hello, my name's Abby, and my troop number is 20319.
These are my brother's favorite cookies. And these are my favorite cookies. We want to go for a camping. We want to go camping, and we want you guys to buy our cookies. Bye.
But I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for stopping by. Great to hear from you down in the comments. Kathleen and Jen and I always love hearing all of your ideas and comments and feedback. Really appreciate it. So hope you're doing well, hope you're staying well, and hope you're really enjoying your knitting and weaving and spinning and crochet and all those fun things. And someday I will get to doing my weaving, but not today.
We're just coming back one more time just to say goodbye for now. Keep safe, keep knitting, keep crocheting.
Do what you need to do to stay sane.
Yeah, exactly. And definitely, give us a call, leave us a message at Yarnia. We're doing curbside pickup. We're still shipping, of course. And lots that we have in the store is not on our website. So if you've seen us talk about something, you go to our website, shopyarnia.com, and look for it and don't see it. Call the store, send us an email, hello@shopyarnia.com.
It's making noise again.
There's a tree above this air conditioner exhaust thing, so it's dropping little branches. And we'll get you what you need. It's definitely helping keep the store going in this challenging time when we can't have people in the store. And I know from the people I talk to every day, it's helping them too. So we're happy to be able to continue to do that. And next time we'll think about having something like new in store to show you. But for now, just let us know what you need, and we're happy to help you get that. All right?
Bye. Stay
Take care.
safe.
Bye.
Ollie is gonna come say hi again because he would be remiss. Oh, he's gonna show us a couple other things. What are you showing us?
This is a truck.
A truck? Okay. We have more. He's a good builder. What else you got, babes?
And
what is that?
This is a plane that can do, and this is a plane that can do almost anything.
Almost anything. I would like a plane that can do almost anything too. Anything else? Anything else, honey? Do you want to come say goodbye?
One more.
Okay, one more thing, and then he's gonna say goodbye.
That is multiple.
Come on screen. Come on screen.
So
say
hi. This is a battering that's a robot.
hi. A batarang.
A battering that's a robot.
Oh, a battering that's a robot.
These are its feet.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a camera too.
Wow.
And
what else you got? Is it stuck, or do you need help?
And this is a battering for training.
Oh, so not for in battle.
No.
Okay. All right. So come say goodbye because I'm about to sign off.
I'm not done.
Okay, but I am. Oh, I see. He's transforming it right now. So it's going
And
from
now-
training.
And now, this is a real battering.
That's a real batarang. Okay.
Bye.
Those are Zoobs. If you have kids and need something for them to build, those are great toys. Although sometimes they're a little hard to snap together and snap apart. So sometimes they require grown-up help. Anyway, Thank you so much for listening and watching. Thank you so much for supporting us and supporting your local stores throughout. Shop local, because we want to be here when this is all over. And we hope everybody is staying safe. Ollie, come say hi again. We hope everybody is staying safe and say bye.
Bye.